Hello! In this tutorial, we will get started with some more advanced configuration tools which utilize ISTools' custom coding language, IQL. We will expand on the data model from the two previous tutorials and create a new form where users can view and update their profile information, manage a calendar, and use a digital timestamp to log their working hours. In order to manage the work log records, we will need to configure them with IQL, both in Form Designer and using Rules Manager, which lets us provide IQL actions to our records with a global scope, meaning records can be affected across the entire application and are not exclusively triggered by our form. If you've not completed the two previous tutorials, you can upload a configuration bundle to copy the content we've covered up until this point. You can find a link to download the bundle in the description below. If you're entirely new to programming languages, we will go through a very brief introduction to the concept now. If you have some experience with code, feel free to jump ahead to the next chapter. Code is the language of computers and is an essential part of our lives today. Without it, our society would quickly grind to a halt. Early implementations of computer programming began in the 1940s and used difficult machine code called binary, consisting only of ones and zeros. Although efficient on a machine level, binary code is almost illegible for humans, unless you're living in the Matrix universe. Code has since evolved into a multitude of languages with varying levels of human readability. Popular languages today include Python, C++, Java, and SQL, to name a few. Although all languages use different syntax and have different attributes, they also have a few things in common, including the use of data structures to organize data and using functions to perform different tasks on these data structures. Today, most programming occurs in integrated coding environments, or IDEs, which in short are applications that bundle together the tools that software developers need to build software. One of the core components of any IDE is a code editor. This works similarly to a regular text editor, but it also provides useful tools like highlighting, auto-completion of code, and error checking or validation. Although the ISTools platform does not contain all the makings of an IDE, it does use different code editors. These editors are used by high-level administrators and those configuring applications to provide the necessary IQL to create advanced functionality in user forms and create automated data flows through Rules Manager. Both of these areas will be covered in this tutorial. In the world of programming, there are two mutually exclusive paradigms to which all languages adhere: imperative programming and declarative programming. The imperative method provides a sequence of commands for a computer to execute in a specified order in order to achieve a result. The declarative method, by contrast, focuses on what result is needed by describing the outcome without providing a control flow. This diagram highlights the key differences between these two paradigms. IQL, which is used exclusively with the ISTools platform, is based on SQL or SQL, a language commonly used in database programming. IQL, like SQL, is a declarative language, meaning it leans towards using expressions that evaluate data to come up with the results. If you'd like to gain a deeper understanding of coding or computer programming, you can consult your local search engine or AI, but hopefully the basics we've covered now will be sufficient for this tutorial. Let's jump right into configuring our new user form. For this tutorial, we have already configured a form with 3 differentiating detail sections that we will use to display user information. The configuration bundle is available for download via the link below, as well as the raw JSON, which you can paste directly into a new form, assuming you already have the data model configured. All right, once you have your form ready, let's take a look at the differences between our 3 detail sections. In the detail to the left, we have a bunch of user fields that are all set to read only. This detail should be displayed when the active user is viewing the profile of a different user, as the user should only be able to change their own profile information. The detailed section in the middle is for when a user is viewing their own profile, and it actually contains 2 details, one to display limited user information, and another to act as a timestamp for the user working hours. The detail to the right will be displayed when the user chooses to edit their profile information. Let's get started with our first IQL functionality. Select the label component marked empty label in the left detail section. This label will be used to display the full name of the user. We could also use the first name and last name fields and place them adjacently to do the same thing. But this would look quite bad and require a lot of styling to make it look appealing. In the behavior editor of the form rules panel, type set:caption equals F. We can see that the editor will suggest the first name field from the component's parent table. Hit enter to autocomplete. Now we need to append the user's last name to the first name. To modify data directly in our code, we use so-called operators. Most languages, IQL included, primarily rely on syntax from algebra. Let's use the plus operator followed by the last name field. Okay, we have written our first line of code, but not so fast, Brian. It looks like the compiler has caught an error. Our IQL is compiled as we type it into the editor, so we don't need to wait until the code is executed to discover errors in syntax or semantics. Let's hover over the highlighted code to find out more. Text does not match date or numeric. This means that there is a semantic error related either to the field types or the operators used in our expression. Programming languages refer to data as being of a certain type, and IQL is no different. The content, or value, of a text or note field, for instance, is referred to as a string, whereas the value of a number field is a number. In some languages, the data type is inferred, meaning the compiler will guess from context what data type is being operated on. These languages are referred to as weakly typed. Others require that the type be explicitly declared for each entry of data in the code. These are referred to as strongly typed. Can you guess if IQL is strongly typed or weakly typed? Wrong. It is weakly typed. In order to perform operations with different data types, type conversion is required. In other cases, certain operators can only be used with specific types of data. Back to the IQL expression in question. We know that both the first name and the last name are text type fields, so appending their values should be possible without conversion. Therefore, the problem must be with the operator. Looking at our error message again, we can now infer that the plus operator cannot be used with the text fields, but will only work with date or numeric field values. Let's ask IS-Tool's AI assistant Awen what to do. It looks like the correct syntax for concatenating strings is two vertical lines, which in code is commonly referred to as a double pipe. Thanks, Awen. Let's change the operator in our code. Now we'll render the form and have a look. We're almost there, but it looks like we're missing a space between the first and last names. Let's append a string with a space character to the end of our first name. Add another double pipe, and then apostrophe, space, apostrophe. In IQL, any sequence of characters between two apostrophes is considered a string. Let's render the form again. And there we have it, our first form IQL in action. Well done. Let's copy our component's behavior to the two other labels. If we want, we can provide a caption in the Field Properties panel so that other administrators won't incorrectly assume that our empty labels are there by mistake. At the top of the form, we also have a selector component. The selector is a data component requiring a data source. It works similarly to a drop-down field and can display up to 3 fields from a selected record. This selector shows the first name, last name, and username from a user record. Note that our detailed sections are limited by the record in the selector. Currently, all 3 sections display data from the selected user, but we want to display one at a time. To achieve this, we're going to use IQL. Each of the details have a parent component in the form of a panel. The panel cannot render any data on its own, but it is useful when we want to add certain behavioral functionality to our form. As the parent component, certain properties applied to the panel will be inherited by its child components. Let's provide some IQL for the behavior of the left panel. In order to hide the panel, we can set the hidden property to 1. The hidden property can take a value of either 1 or 0, with 0 being the default. Okay, so we have successfully hidden our panel to the user, but now we also need to get it to display when our user is viewing another user's profile. In front of our behavioral expression, we'll create what is referred to as a conditional statement, or an if-else clause. The syntax for this is if, then, else, end. After the if, we need to put a Boolean expression, meaning the answer is either true or false, that the compiler will check against. If our expression is true, the compiler will execute any code after the then keyword. If the expression is false, any code after the else keyword will be executed instead. The end keyword marks the end of our code block. For our if-else clause, if the expression proves true, we'll set the hidden property to 1. And if it's false, we'll set the hidden property to 0. Now we just need a statement that checks if the user in our selector is the same as the current user. After the if keyword, we'll type current username followed by brackets. Note how the text becomes highlighted in orange. This is because the syntax we provided is that of the function within IQL. In programming languages, functions are predefined operations that can be called upon through code to be executed at a specific time. The current username function returns the currently logged in user's username as a string. The IS Tools tutorials will cover a variety of IQL functions. But for a full list of IQL functions with examples, please take a look at the documentation or ask Awin. We now want our statement to compare the current user's username with the username of the user record in the selector. But since we're writing IQL for the behavior of the panel, which itself doesn't contain any data records, we need a way to access the record data from the selector. This can be achieved with an IQL parameter. A parameter, which is commonly referred to as a variable in other programming languages, is specified syntax that can be assigned data and subsequently be called upon later in your code. Think of it as taking a section of code and packing it into a box and then giving it a label. You will then be able to access the contents of that box whenever you reference the label. In IQL, the syntax for a parameter is @ followed by a string. With parameters, it's good practice to use names that pertain to the data contents. Okay, so we now have an if statement that checks if the value returned from the current username function is equal to the value within our username parameter. There's only one problem. We haven't actually assigned a value to our parameter. Referring back to our analogy, it's like we've labeled our box, but we forgot to pack it. In the form rules panel of our selector, we can see that we have 3 different IQL editors available. The main difference between them is the time of execution. Code in the behavior editor refers to the component itself and is triggered upon rendering the form. The behavior editor also acts as an active event listener, meaning that the code is executed every time specific events occur, like when a parameter is assigned a new value. Code in the run-on-select editor is fired after new active record is selected in the component. And the filter code is fired right before the data section sends a request to the server to retrieve data records. It provides more customizable filter options than the conventional filter. Which editor should we use to access the username from the selected user record? That's right, we'll use run-on-select. To assign data to a parameter, we need to first declare it. Declaration is how we define the scope of our parameter. We have 2 options, the let keyword, which provides the local scope to the editor, and the set keyword, whose scope extends to the entire form. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of scope, you can think of it as the area in which we have access to our boxes from our previous analogy. The let scope only provides access to the labeled boxes of the room that we're currently in, whereas the set scope gets us access to all the labeled boxes in the building. In this case, we're going to access our parameter from a different component, so we need to declare our parameter with the set keyword and assign it the value of the username field. Hit Enter to autocomplete. In order to test our IQL functionality, you're going to need to create a user record with the same username as the username in your IS Tools account. Head over to the employee records from the previous tutorial and create such a record. Alternatively, you can also use the magical form for the user record table in the BME.